श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः गुकारो अन्धकारो वै ऋकारस्तन्निवर्तकः अन्धकारनिरोधित्वात् गुरुरित्यभिधीयते। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः सुष्ठुवांसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यतायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृत्तश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्ठनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। We are looking into Māṇḍūkya Upaniṣad, which belongs to Atharva Veda. We all know that there are 4 Vedas, fundamental, traditional books of India. All our Indian tradition is based upon this fundamental literature. Vedas or Upanishads are not written by anybody. Like other holy books may have some authors or authorities. Vedas are not written by anybody. It is called apaurushayam, not a man-made literature. Then how it happens? If you analyze the time from where the Vedas are started, it will go behind more than 30-40 billion years, they say. So, immemorial past, in one word we can say. The mantras will have a name of a sage. Every mantra will have a name of a sage. It doesn't mean that mantra is written by a sage. A sage who have done lot of penances, lot of meditations, lot of practices in discipline, moral values, then that sage is in tune with the mantras which are already there in the atmosphere. That mind can grasp the mantras and can see the mantras. Thus, that sage will write that mantra which I saw through my mind, and that will be effective. And in that name, one who has seen that mantra will be added in the Vedas. So 4 seers of mantras, that's all. So Vedas are not written by any of the sages, but every mantra have its own sage, its own meters. Lot of things are there. How to read the mantra, a lot of things are to be understood properly. So Vedas are apaurushayam. It is not a man-made literature. And Vedanta also so too. It is not written by anybody. From the immemorial past, we have Upanishads as the end portion of Vedas. And we have four Vedas which are being coordinated by Veda Vyasa, who is another sage. The Vedas being divided into four according to certain things. So, one of the Vedas are called Atharva Veda, and in that Atharva Veda, we have few Upanishads, and one of the Upanishad is Māṇḍūkya Upaniṣad. Why I say briefly certain tips before the beginning of the class, suppose if you are a beginner, certain things are preliminarily to understand properly. We need to know basics. So certain basics I taught, but you people are in the half of the way, you may join or something like that. So certain things I want to say before the class begins. That's why I say about Vedas or Upanishads repeatedly. Fine. Now, we are in the seventh mantra of the Māṇḍūkya Upaniṣad, which we already finished in the last class. Still as a brushing up, and the mantra being very relevant, we will start that mantra and go to the next kārikā after this mantra. I will read the mantra and I will give a brief explanation regarding the last words, and we will go to the kārikā. Nāntah prajñam na bahishprajñam na upayatah prajñam na aprajñam na prajñānaganam na prajñam na aprajñam adrishtham avyavaharyam agrahyam alakshanam achintyam avyapateshyam ekatma pratyasaram prapancha upashamam shantam shivam advaitam chaturtham manyande sa atma savijñeyaha. A long sentence which is considered as a verse. This mantra is talking about the human goal. From the known to the unknown. We know the three states which are occurring one after another in a human body. We are all familiar with that. What are they? Waking state, Jagrata Avastha. Dream state, Swapna Avastha. Deep sleep state, Sushupti Avastha. These three states are being negated by na antah prajñam, na bahishprajñam, na prajñānaghanam. Even though these states are very important for a human body, but there is no connection with the human goal. These three states are used as an analysis. We analyze these three states. After analyzing, we take the gist or the essence of the states and we will move. There is no connection for the states directly towards the goal. Nothing to do with the waking state experiences. There is no connection with the experiences and the human goal. There is no connection with the experiences which are occurring in the dream state for the human goal. Ultimate goal I am talking, moksha, liberation. There is no connection between the deep sleep state and the human goal. So when there is no connection, a person who have enough courage will give up all these experiences occurring in these three states. That's only a ego puffing. Your ego can be bit building up. That's all. I have experienced what is there in the wrong. I have experienced in that country, that food. I have experienced this guy. I have experienced this woman. All these things are just ego satisfaction. That's all. There is no connection with the human goal. But as long as you live, certain things you cannot avoid in your daily occurrence. We call it in Sanskrit prarabdha, unavoidable experiences that you have to go through. It may give you some happiness, it may give you some unhappiness, but you have to go through, which are inevitable. All other things are in our hand to choose. So make a proper choice and give up certain things which are counted as experiences. And those experiences can lead into more and more death and birth cycle. An intelligent one will minimize the worldly experiences in the waking state. Of course, dream experiences doesn't have any control with me. It will be reduced if your waking state is being controlled. And the deep sleep state, that casual state, will be no more if you control and reduce the waking state and deep sleep state. And as long as a liberated person lives, he has to go through these three states, because he is not going through these three states. His body may be going through these three states. He is already liberated while living. So, negating the waking state and its experiences and its things, negating the dream state and the things which are occurring in the dream state, and negating the deep sleep state and its casual way, it says that na prajnam, na prajnam, na aprajnam. It is not a simple conscious who is witnessing the entire universe. It is not an inert thing who is the base of this human body, who is the base of these three states. It is not inert. Na aprajnam. Then atrishtam, avyavaharyam, agrahyam. Atrishtam, it is not perceived by the external or internal senses. Adrishtam. Avyavaharyam. Not a thing to deal in the empirical world. As though, suppose if you never witnessed an elephant directly, you go to a country where elephants are a lot, then you witness elephant is a reality in our empirical dealing. Similarly, this thing is not available in the empirical dealing, avyavaharyam, because these things are not available for our perception. It is not also available for our dealing. Agrahyam, it cannot be grasped by the mind, or it cannot be held by the hands. Then there will be a question, is it a non-existing thing? If you say it's a non-existing thing, you are negating your own existence, because the thing which we are talking about is the listeners, the essence of the listener. So, alakshanam, there is no indications or there is no data to analyze and to see through inference. Alakshanam. Achintyam cannot be imagined by the mind. Mind can only imagine something which is limited. When something is unlimited and what is beyond the mind in the form of consciousness, which itself is making the mind to go here and there, that consciousness cannot be thought, cannot be grasped by the mind. Agrahyam, achintyam, avyapateshyam, cannot communicate through words. I am not communicating the intrinsic nature of a listener. I don't have a direct word to say to you. The consciousness which is inside and outside of the body is the intrinsic nature of an individual. That's all. I don't have a direct word like this is a cat, this is a dog, this is Lord. Like that, I don't have a direct word. I can only go up to a limited level. The consciousness which is obtaining inside the body, which is also the sustainer of the entire universe, that consciousness is the intrinsic nature of a listener. That is being told by Tattvamasi. You are that. You are that consciousness which never subject to death and birth. You are that consciousness which is the sustainer of the creation. That is called Tattvam Asi. And the same meaning, Aham Brahmasmi. I am that all pervading consciousness which is almighty, which is all intelligent. That consciousness is called Brahman. Aham, I am that supreme consciousness. These are all the end of communication. More than that, one need to analyze oneself. I already mentioned you, when you say you are that consciousness, it negates all the incidental attributes. Like we are considering ourselves, I am a man, I am a woman, I am this much tall, I am this much fat, I belong to this country, I have curly hair, I have gray hair, my nose is not so good, my teeth are not so good, my legs are not so good. So these type of attributes are already superimposed to me. After considering myself, I am this body. That I am the consciousness should negate all these incidental attributes or superimposed unreal thoughts. There, our truth will emerge. No other way. That's why meditation, contemplation, Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. Listen properly from a traditional teacher for a length of time. Then one should go through what is being listened from the traditional teacher again and again, Mananam. Then owning this knowledge, Nididhyasanam. You react from the knowledge what you have listened from the traditional teacher. Everything is nothing but Brahman. That position, that status is called Nididhyasanam. You only react from this knowledge. Then, this is the end of the communication. No, I cannot go more than any to a communication. That's why it's called Avyapadeshyam Ekatma Pratyasaram, the sustainer of the three states and entire creation. Ekatma, that one single consciousness which is almighty, all intelligent. That is the essence of all these three states. The consciousness remains, the consciousness is not absent at any point of time when it goes through three states. In the waking state, the consciousness is not absent. In the dream state, the consciousness is not absent. In the deep sleep state, the consciousness is not absent. Everywhere, the consciousness remains. From this consciousness, I get contact with the mind, I get contact with the body, and the body is alive, body is conscious, and it goes outwards, and I saw a pot, and there is a pot consciousness. Duality is being generated due to the non-apprehension. We are going to see that. When I am not informed by anybody that you are not the human body. I take myself that I am this human body. So, ekatma pratyaya saram, the essence of these three states, the sustainer of these three states, which is one single consciousness. Prapancha upashamam. After listening Vedas or Vedanta from a proper traditional teacher, you should lose the taste towards the external world, to roam around, to taste a particular food, to go and see somebody, to enjoy a movie, to enjoy a nightclub, to enjoy a alcohol, to puff a cigarette. Everything should get shackled. Once you have the reality inside your mind, the prapancha upashamam, the waking state experiences are nullified. They are not there at all. I have to go to Kailasa. I have to see the Mount Everest. I have to go to see what is happening in Spain, what is happening in another country. I have to experience certain things with this man or with this woman. All these things should go down and get into ashes. Prapancha Upashamam. This is the truth which is going to happen for a listener of Vedanta. Even though you may be thinking it is impossible, of course, sages and Upanishad will not talk something which is not practical. Sages or Upanishads will not rate something which is only to talk and which is not possible in our daily life. Vedas and Vedantas talk about something which can be done by our human body, which is which is easily one can accomplish if you have the regular practice. Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena ja vishishyate. Lord Krishna says in second chapter, sixth chapter, Abhyasam, daily you go through this exercise. I am not this body. Why should I go behind the body desires? I am not interested in the daily experiences. Up to that, I have gone to the world and experienced a lot. Now I restrain myself. Abhyasa, daily exercising in one's own proper thoughts. Vairagyam, certain understanding regarding uh, the worries which will be brought by the things when you enjoy. It seems to be very good when it starts. When it go continuously, it will become poison. So after analyzing every object in the world, one should get a dispassion towards the thing because it is loaded with pain and suffering. If you come to know the truth, your vairagyam, dispassion is generated. The knowledge will be flooded. It will not be a slow stream. The vairagya is proportional to the knowledge. The more you have discrimination, the more you have dispassion towards the external world, the knowledge will be flooded. If not, knowledge will be a small stream. So vairagya has a crucial role in our receiving of the knowledge. That's why Viveka Vairagyam become the basic preliminaries in our daily Vedanta life. Towards the goal, they are the essential factors. One should work on that, put effort on that, and accomplish properly. Vairagya and Viveka, discrimination and dispassion. So, Prapancha Upashamam will happen. There will be the cessation of the waking state once you get the knowledge that nothing to do with the external things in the world. It will only put more and more vasanas in one's own life. And one will be going through death and birth cycle. Then one will slowly withdraw the senses and stay in one's own consciousness. Paranchikhani vedranat swayambhuhu parang pashyadi na antaratman. We have already studied in the Kathopanishad, extroverted senses will take for a ride. This individual get trapped in different places in the external world. World is very cruel. People are very cruel. They are self-centered. They want to cheat you. They want to make you destruction. They want to see the destruction because they are only centered on money, fame, and some other indriya sukham experiences through the senses. So we have a different taste. We want to achieve our goal. So no need of any kind of worldly experiences to be in our priority. If it comes, it's okay. I'm not against that. But don't keep the priority of the worldly experiences. It will take a ride and you will get lost in this world. So prapancha upashama, once you come to know this Atman is everything, this consciousness is the origination of the entire happiness. You will not go for the search of happiness in outside, whether it is in food, whether it is in sex, whether it is in shelter, whether it is in a experience with a thing. You will not be interested in. If it comes, it's your prarabdha of this body, you may enjoy, but you are not in search of that. Prapancha upashama. While studying itself, one should feel that I am enough of going behind the worldly experiences in the waking state. It will come. This is an indication that knowledge is doing its job in you. Prapancha upashamam shantam. The person will be so much serene, peace. You need not to talk with everybody to put your pressure outside. Serene, peace, Shanta, because the nature of the consciousness is Shanta Subhava. So it will be reflecting through your external body. Shivam Advaitam. Only auspicious things you can do, or you will be performing auspicious thing because it's the intrinsic nature of this consciousness. Advaitam, non-duality. You don't see any separation with the world and the people within you. Everything is one and the same. One and the same. Everything will be one and the same. Shantam Shivam Advaitam. Very powerful words. Advaitam, non-duality. You don't see any separation with the dog and yourself, because the essence of the dog and the essence of this human body is one and the same. That vision is Advaitam. You need not to stitch yourself with your body and the dog's body. Because if you try to settle by keeping the dog along with you, you think that duality is true. So I have to withdraw this dog from there towards me. You need not to paste yourself like a Siamese. Everything seems to be separate from you, but in reality, there is no separation when it comes to the point of essence of everything. This vision, this understanding is called Advaita. If you try to change the world and people that you are not separate from the Lord, that means that you are accepting there is a duality between you and the people. Duality never existed at any point of time. Jnate dvaite, jnate dvaitam na vidyate. We are going to study in the kārikā. After knowing, Even though if you perceive different people, different things, different worlds around you, you will be understood properly. You have understood properly that there is no difference from the part of essence. The essence is one and the same. Jnat Shivam Advaitam. Chaturtham, the fourth. This is a bit confusing, The fourth, there is no numerical connection with the three things which we analyzed. Because waking state will be first. Dream state will be second. Deep sleep state will be the third. These states being analyzed, so one may think that the fourth is another state. No, there is no numerical connection with these states and what we are going to see. Chaturtham, the fourth. An analysis is done for the three states, and in order, another thing is being analyzed. So we gave a number called fourth. That's all. Considering the analysis, we put a number called fourth. That's all. There is no real connection with the three states and this chaturtham, the fourth thing which we are analyzing. All these three states are misapprehensions and unreal things. And the fourth thing is the only thing which is the truth or which is the essence of the entire world. So there is no connection with the three states and the fourth, because there is no numerical connection, because in the way of explanation it follows forth, we given the name called Chaturtham. That's all. One should know that there is no connection for the things. There cannot be any connection. Connection is not there at all. Three states are unreal things, and the fourth is the real, the base, the essence of the three states. Chaturtham manyante. This consciousness is the fourth, and in analyzing, in the explanation, we have explained already the three states, and we are explaining the reality of the three states, and it will be fall under as fourth in an explanation. That's all. There is no connection between all these three states we have already mentioned. It is something different from all these three states. And Sa Atma, this is the intrinsic nature of the listener. This is the intrinsic nature of an individual, Atma. Because we thought that I am subject to death and birth according to the body. I am beautiful according to the body. I have a caste according to the body. I have a gender, I may be female or male according to the body. I am having certain issues because somebody woke me. It is also related to the body. Pricing and contemning are related to body. All these things are just unwanted notions, erroneous notions. People should know that there is no connection with the experiences occurring in the body and the reality, because superimposition will be continued forever and ever untouched by the base. The base for the superimposition is ever untouched. That's something very interesting, If you mistaken a rope into a snake, that snake notion lays here, not in the outside rope. Rock will continue. Rock will be always there. Rock never get any features from the superimposed snake. Rock is ever pure, ever untouched by the any notions which we thought inside our mind. Like, a rope is considered as a snake in somebody's notion. Some may think that it is a stick. Some may think that it is a water flow. If it is a white rock, and if you keep a speaker of some flow of water, sometimes it can be in the form of a crack. If you put an original rock, somebody thinks that there is a crack in the earth, bhujidram in Sanskrit, But all these are wrong notions. All these are superimpositions. These superimpositions are never touched by the ever pure Atman, the consciousness of the listener or the consciousness of the individual. Why I say every time in listener? Because any traditional teacher is not an ignorant, mostly. He knows what he's teaching and he's practicing what he's teaching to others. It's not like a biology teacher teaches about the oxygen and the tree in the class, and after coming, he will cut the tree and make some furnitures, If you are a biology teacher, you own that knowledge. You will never pluck a leaf unwanted because every leaf is the source of oxygen you are teaching. So you have to own that knowledge within your life. So this is something irony. You teach something and your actions are something different from the teaching. But a traditional teacher, when he talks about freedom, he has already known what is freedom of or the truth. So for him, this teaching is not at all more helpful because he already studied under his guru and he is owning that knowledge. But the listener, lot of benefits are there every day. The listener is understanding the eternal freedom. So that I used to mention always the listener, the listener. Actually, it can be individual also. The consciousness who is in the form of individual is to be understood properly in a systematic way. Saha Vijnayaha, to be known. This consciousness is not absent at any point of time, even though the states are changing. States are vibicharis. They change from one to one. The waking state will go to the dream state. The dream state will go to the deep sleep state. Again, it will come to the dream state or waking state. But the consciousness, the base of all these three states are one and the same. That is the intrinsic nature. That is me. Chidananda Rupas Shivoham Shivoham. I am the form of consciousness. In spite of all the experiences occurring in the body, in spite of all the diseases occurring in the body, in spite of all the issues from the society I am suffering in this body, I am ever touched by them. I am the consciousness Atman who is not subject to death or birth. This understanding is called moksha while living. There is no other moksha. Okay? This understanding is called moksha. One should know that this body is going through different experiences. I am getting some happiness from my husband, from my kids, from my father. These are all body experiences. Sometimes I am getting some unhappiness from my relatives. from my neighbor, from my diseases. These are also body experiences. But both happiness and unhappiness, which are from the empirical standpoint or in the waking state, is not going to touch the intrinsic nature of an individual. If you come to know that in spite of the diseases, in spite of the happiness, you will be ever free from all the body experiences because you are not the body. That understanding should take place. Saha Vijñeyaha, that consciousness to be understood properly. So, this is the explanation of the seventh verse of Māṇḍūkya Upaniṣad. In the tradition, we don't go for the eighth verse. Instead of that, the connected kārikā verses are taught here. I already mentioned you, Adi Shankara's commentary is the base of my explanation. In tradition also, any Upanishad along with Shankara's commentary is going to be fruitful. Then only I will also sleep at night. I am completely satisfied according to the Shankara's commentary I have told. One thing. Other thing, in tradition, they teach the kārikā, which are connected words of Gaudapada. Māṇḍūkya Upaniṣad, along with the kārikā, we are studying. Even though Māṇḍūkya Upaniṣad have 12 verses, there are almost 350, 320 kārikās. Those verses which are connected with the Māṇḍūkya Upaniṣad, and it is written by a guru called Gaudapada Acharya, the guru of Govinda Bhagavat Padar, and this Govinda Bhagavat Padar is the guru of Shankara. Thus, Shankara's guru's guru Gaudapada Acharya's kārikā, the verses which are connected with this Upanishadic verse, and it is in the 10th verse we are in the. After studying the 7th verse of Māṇḍūkya Upaniṣad, we are going to study the 10th verse of the kārikā. We already gone through the 9th verse before this verse to study the Māṇḍūkya Upaniṣad 7th verse. So, if you are missing, please go to the YouTube and you can see what are the explanation of the 9 kārikās. It will be very simple, and if you have any doubt, please put inside the group as a question. I will answer for that. Okay, now we are in the 10th verse of our kārikā. What is the 10th verse? Nivritte sarva dukkhanam Ishanah prabhuravyayah Advaita sarva bhavanam Devasthuryo vibhuh smritaha. Once more I will read. Nivritte sarva dukkhanam Ishanah prabhuravyayah Advaita sarva bhavanam Devasthuryo vibhuh smritaha. In the verse, we got a word called turiyaha, the fourth. I already mentioned you, the fourth decision means any numerical relationship with the last 3 states, which we already explained respectively, the waking state, the dream state, and the deep sleep state. There is no numerical connection. Because it is the fourth explanation in order, it got the name Turiya. That's all. In this verse, Gaudapada explains What is Turyaha? More elaborate. Who is the fourth? What is meant by Atman? What is the result that one came to know that he is the Atman? He is the Atman. What is the result? That result is being shown because it's the intrinsic nature of a liberated person. We are ever free from all diseases and all kinds of experiences which are connected with the body. Ever free. Even when it occurs for the body, we take it's an issue of mind. But we are ever free. Like the pot have a hole, chidra, crack or hole. We have a small pot, clay pot. It has a crack or it has a hole. This is a defect of the pot. Nobody will buy the pot. Nobody is going to have any purpose with a pot which has already a crack or a hole. Fine. The point is whether this hole or the crack belongs to pot or clay. Listen my question. This crack or hole belongs to pot or clay. Clay doesn't have any crack. Clay doesn't have any hole because clay is clay, who is all pervading the pot. For that name and form, there is a hole, there is a crack. That crack or that hole is not connected with the clay, even though it is appearing in the pot. Similarly, there is a disease for the body, or there is a limitation for the body. For example, I am not beautiful, or I am little bit short compared to other people, or I have some problem with my leg, or I have a problem with my chest, whatever it may be, or I am suffering from a serious disease. These are all limitations. This limitation will be pertaining only to the human body, not with the essence of the human body. It is just like the crack for the pot, not for the clay. So that whatever we are experiencing as good and bad in this world, all are pertaining to the human body. If you experience something good and you think that, oh, I cannot enter into the temple because I've experienced something this, or if you have experienced something bad and I cannot go to the temple or I cannot do this, these are all pertaining to the human body. Whatever experiences you have gone through this human body is not at all going to affect the reality, the essence of the human body. And what is the essence of the human body? Ishanaha, the controller, the protector of the entire creation. More one word, if I say, Ishanaha is the person who put the laws in the form of karma, and these karmas will take care of you. If you kill a bird, for the time being in this body, that pain which have gone through the bird's body will not be suffered by you. But still there is a pending result. You will go to a next birth like a bird and you will get killed. The same pain what the bird have gone through will be suffering by you. This is called loss of karma. Whether it is a fish, whether it is a lamb, whether it is a buffalo, everybody who is enjoying all this cruelty, their misdeeds will be paid in coming days. The same amount of suffering. Don't think that nobody is seeing now when I eat something, when I do something. It's a big surveillance camera is there. It is watching everybody. The laws of karma. The laws of karma will take care of our good deeds and bad deeds. So this is how he is the protector of the entire universe. Ishana. Ishanaha, and also here Ishanaha idi asya padasya vyakyanam Prabhu idi. In the Bhashya, he says that Prabhu. Prabhu means the overlordship also is there. Prabhu. Laksha Prabhu. Bhumi Prabhu. The overlordship of the land. The overlordship of the money. Similarly, he is also called Prabhu. The protector himself is the Lord of entire creation. And when you come to know that I am this Ishanaha, I am this Prabhu, the result will be like this. Nivrte sarva dukkhana. Immediately all the worries get vanished. In spite of they continue in the body, you are ever free and your face will be charming in spite of all the diseases. Because you came to know that I am this consciousness. I am not the human body, or I am not the things which are occurring in the human body. Even my thoughts are not myself. It is something related to human body. I am the eternal supreme Brahman. And my body is always an unreal thing from the standpoint of reality. And the experiences also will become unreal. Thus, dukkha nivrittihi prati prabhavati ityarthaha. This knowledge will make you the cessation of the sufferings. No other way for the permanent solution of all the issues pertaining to the body. All other things are temporary. Why people drink alcohol? They want to forget the miseries which are going through. But after 2 hours, the effect of the alcohol will drop, will go away. Then again you are a dukkhi, a person who is always worrying. What is the point of drinking? A suspension of the miseries are there when you drink. That's all. It is also there in anesthesia. There will be no pain when you take an anesthesia. But the pain will start after the effect of anesthesia has gone. I got some issues with the nails when I before 10 years or something like that, due to the rescue of a cat from the mouth of a dog. The dog didn't bite. When I'm taking the cat from the mouth of the dog, the cat thought that I am biting the cat. Then suddenly the cat bite on my thumb. Half of the nail have been broken and the blood was bleeding. When I went to the doctor, doctors told me, we have to take the complete nail. Okay, I told him, please, you take the nail. and they put anesthesia. I don't have any pain for three hours, My nail have been taken by their tool and everything. But after 3 hours, you are in the hell for 10 days. So this anesthesia can help you to take away the pain for a temporary time, for a length of time. That's all. Alcohol also have the same effect. Even any enjoyment in this empirical world, food, sex, shelter, anything, will only bring you some temporary happiness. After that, you continue as a same person. Correct? So, Prabhu, a person who has the overlordship on entire creation and who will control the entire world through the laws of karma. Avyayaha. Na vedidi avyayaha. My intrinsic nature are being told. Who is me, the fourth guy, Chaturi and Turiyaha? I am the center of the creation, who is the protector of the creation. In spite of my small body, I am this consciousness who is all pervading in and through. And it is the Prabhu who is the overlord of the entire creation. Avyayaha. There is no aging. There is no birth. There is no growth. No Vedi. Declension. Nothing is there. It is always permanent, eternal. If I come to know I am this consciousness, I am not worried about the aging of the body. I will be completely aware of that I am not this body. I am the consciousness of the body. That thinking is Avyaya. Navedi, because it's the reality. I am not subject to death and birth. I continue as the same, eternal, permanent, Avyayam, Navedi. Advaitaha, non-duality, very powerful other word, When it comes to the point of consciousness, one single consciousness is pervading in and through the sentient things and insentient things. Whether it is a bird, whether it is a piece of wood, whether it is a vessel, whether it is your mobile, whether it is any inert thing, whether it is a sentient thing, in everything, this consciousness is all pervading. Advaita. It is non-separate from anything. The empirical separation is not real. That is why we don't say waters, water. Why? Water is in the form of ice cubes. Water is the form of oceans. Water is in the form of streams. Water is in the form of rivers. Water is in the form of vapors. Water is in the form of clouds. They are all different from names and forms. But the intrinsic nature of entire thing is water. We don't say waters because one and only water is appearing in different names and forms. This is called Advaitam. If you come to know one water is pervading from the dewdrops to the oceans, from the rivers to the lakes, everywhere one water. Similarly, one consciousness is appearing as dog, appearing as human being, appearing as a piece of wood, appearing as a matchbox, appearing as also the Lord in the altar. This conviction, this understanding is Advaita, the reality of a individual. Advaita, Sarva Bhavanam. all the bhavas, whether it is in the things which are appearing in the three states or anything, sarva bhava. Now, Devaha, Jyotanavan, the effulgent one, who is self-effulgent. It doesn't depend on somebody to become sentient. It is self-effulgent. Swayam Satta and Swayam Spurti. And Turyaha, the fourth explanation. It's not the fourth one. The fourth explanation is completely distinct from the last three explanations. They are talking about the empirical things, while the fourth is talking about the center pillar of the creation, the essence of the creation. Vibhuhu Sprataha. Vividam Bhavati di Vibhuhu. One who seems to be different things, it's as though apparent realities, not real, even though you see different things. The consciousness which is obtaining as the individual seems to be appearing in different names and forms. Vibhuhu Sprataha is being considered, is being thought of. So the last verse talks about the human goal, that I should know that I am not a human being. I am the consciousness who is the sustainer of the entire world. Once you come to know that consciousness is being told in different names, and that consciousness is the controller of the world and creation in the form of laws and karma. It is non-separate from everything. It is everywhere, and it is the effulgent one, and it is not depending upon anybody for the energy or for the sustainer of the creation. He is in the form, different names and forms. He himself is in the different names and forms. One should know that, and it is the goal of a human being. More I will talk you in the next class. Om Susti Prajabhya Paripalayandam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahishaha Gobrahmanebhya Shubhamastu Nityam Loka Samastha Sukhino Bhavantu Kale Varshadu Parjanyaha Prithvi Sasya Shalini Deshoyam Choparahitaha Brahmana Santu Nirbayaha Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om